Everybody, Sid Sexton and my good friend Keith Glines with another episode, a quick hit, if you will, of the Overlap podcast. And so, Keith, we had a quick hit this morning. We've been talking about it this week, and you thought it might be a good one.
You came into the studio on fire today. You got us together. We're sending letters out. We're sending questions out. We're getting all organized.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned something, and you used the term, this week I've transitioned people out.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this a new business term? I don't know.
It's not.
And then I thought,
yeah.
Well, once you explained it to me, I'm like, oh, that's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
so, been there.
So what I've been doing, well, and here's I do eat my cooking in the sense that, we talk about getting through the first half of the year, and this has been my MO or my process is get through the first half of the year, really trying my hardest to execute on the plan that we set forward. And there's, some little changes and you got a quarterly meeting, you kind of adapt. But after the first half of the year, I've got enough data to really make some strong decisions. Well, with that data, I've come to realize that there's some folks that are in the wrong seat, on our team and doesn't necessarily make them bad people. It doesn't, and I'm probably holding them back. You can see that they're good people. They're good at certain things. I just don't need that in our organization. So I don't know when I adopted this, but I like the idea of like a no 2-week notice policy where I just come to you and we collect enough data to say, hey, you're not doing great at this job. You're kind of a C player right now, but you're not a C player if you're in the right seat. You're probably an A player if you're right seat. Let's talk about where the right seat is for you. And then they always inevitably get a little bit uncomfortable and they're like, oh, are you firing me? I'm like, well, no, I'm trying to help you find the right role for you so you can win.
But I think the question would be, what if you don't have that right seat for them at the moment?
I don't have the right seat for these people, so I'm transitioning them out. But I'm helping them. And this is probably above and beyond leadership, but I'm trying to still lead and mentor these people to go, hey, I feel like you're good at these things, this and this and that. And I feel like this is kind of where you would really strive or thrive. And inevitably, I've had a couple of those conversations this week and inevitably you can see the lights turn on. Yeah, I've always wanted to do this and that. And I actually did this kind of job before, but it ran out of funding or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see with my connections or whatever and you being focused on that, if we can get you someplace like that. And I think that that's a way better way to approach it. But let me give you some caveats too, is that I got to start having a timeline too. I got to start putting the timeline. I got to start unraveling where you're at. I got to make sure we're on the same page that, hey, look, I'm operating a business, and this is why we're having these conversations, that I've got X amount of dollars to put forth, roles and responsibilities that are going to produce Y amount of dollars so that there is a return on that. I can't, we can't be doing this for 6 months, but I want to help you as much as I possibly can, get you transitioned to another role. And then we have those conversations.
Right people, right seat is probably the most important idea in the organization.
You ain't lying. Because when you have the right person in the right seat, they're easy to manage. They're happy with their role and their responsibility. They're good with, meeting the expectations of the role. There's not like this weird lack of clarity, It just seems to click and work. And if you've hired people and put the right person in the right seat, it's amazing how much easier it is for you. Your life becomes easier, it seems.
And by the way, I've always had a problem with that 2-week notice thing.
Yeah,
I don't
kinda
think you
hate
get
that.
any productivity in 2 weeks of people knowing, hey, we're transitioning you out in
Yeah.
2 weeks. I think it's pretty unfair to say, hey, but so let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay. What questions you got?
So what do you do there? Like, as far as, you don't have to give the specifics financially, but what do you do financially for that?
Well, so let's say you're in a sales role, and you're not really a salesperson. You got some social anxiety. You've got a real hard time asking for the sale.
Which, by the way, if you have social anxiety and you're a salesperson, you're probably not in the right field.
Yeah, true. And I'm kind of making some stuff
well,
up.
Sure, but I know salespeople with those problems.
Well, and people think they want to be in sales,
Yeah, they do. Because that's the next rung on the ladder.
Right.
Everybody's like, I want to be in sales.
Well, and maybe they need to be in sales, but they're just in the wrong type of sales that we've got, right? That is a little faster pace, and you might
where you really have to ask for the sale,
you have to
because
ask for
it's
the
not.
sale. Or maybe you're a decent salesperson, but you're a terrible designer, and I don't have the bandwidth to teach you how to become a designer. Fair? Well, why don't we help you find? You seem to really like interacting with. Let's go with that scenario. You seem to really like interacting with other folks. You like helping them solve problems. You just don't have enough tools in your toolbox in this scenario to help them solve that problem. What are you into? And you would go, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. You're into tech or something. I go, great. I almost guarantee you there's some tech folks. I know some folks over at AltaWorks that might need someone. I know some folks over at wherever. Have you thought about that? And you're like, well, I've always wanted to, but I just was worried about it. And I go, well, why don't we do this? I'm going to reach out to some folks, and I'll try to get them your number. Let's try to get you some interviews. Why don't you go on Indeed and start looking for that stuff? And then here's where some parameters come into play. I was like, I still need you working here from 7 to 4, but I'm happy to let you use the computer, use whatever, come up with a resume between the hours of 4 and 6, or whatever, 3:30 and 6, whatever. And I was like, and if you want me to review it and help you with that, just send it to me, email it to me. I'm happy to do that. Once you get me that, I can email those things out as well. I'm actively trying to help you. But here's what I need from you, Keith. In 2 weeks, I got to have a solid game plan. Not this Friday, but next Friday. You okay with that? And you're going to go, well, I don't know if that's enough time. I'm going to go, I understand that. Let's at least try to have a solid game plan by then. And here's what I know, Keith, that deadlines get things moving. And I hope you understand, I'm trying to be as nice about this as possible. I want to help you, but you got to help me too. You can't just be dead weight, but I don't want to cut you off, but I want to help you. But you got to help me too by continuing to wrap up the projects you've got. Tracy's going to start handling those leads that you've got from now on. Let's have a meeting with him. Let's get him in touch about what's out there and outstanding. And then you go ahead and create all the job folders and work orders for what you've got going on. And then we start transitioning you out.
That makes sense.
Doesn't that seem like a nicer way? And there's loopholes in there that, someone might try to skate by, but I'm like, hey, we agreed that by next Friday, we got a solid plan. You're coming up with nothing. You're leaving me with not a lot of options here, Keith. Like, is today going to be your last day? And you go, well, no, or yeah. And you're mad at me, but I'm not responsible for that. I'm not responsible for I know if you get mad at me and you leave, well, I'm ultimately getting kind of what I need anyways, is you off the payroll, and opening up a seat where I can find the right person for the right seat. But I also know that I've done my very best. I didn't even hire you, but you're still on my team, and I'm trying to do my very best to be as professional and as courteous as possible. And when I do these kind of things and it works out, these people are going to refer people back to me,
Hey, leaders, bosses, managers, you have a responsibility not only to get your jobs done, but to guide and help your team members navigate life when it's not going well.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that means transitioning them out.
Transitioning them out. And it doesn't mean they're bad people if they're not good fits. There might be some bad people. I've had
Man, I have a story. I have a story not about bad people, but where I did not do my part in helping an individual in my organization understand that he was in the wrong role.
Yeah.
And it bit me, it bit him, it bit our relationship. And I knew it for a really long time, and I didn't address it.
Yeah. And people get bitter.
Yeah, they do.
Both sides.
Yep.
And it's really a lack of courage that causes it. And that's what leadership kind of is, man. You got to be courageous to just have
After
that tough conversation.
Incident, because it really hurt me. Like, not that he was mad at me or whatever, but what I saw it do to him and his family and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I have adopted the saying, what is it? Hire slowly and fire quickly.
Yeah, slow to hire, quick to fire.
Yeah. And it's really helped.
Yeah, slow to hire, and we are, and I still make the wrong call, you know. Yeah. But I think I'm way more in tune now about right person, right seat.
And I've heard a lot of business owners say, well, these people deceive me. I don't think that you should never be deceived.
I have been, and this is not a long time ago either.
But you should have protocol.
You should.
That helps you not.
It makes it
get
easier,
there. Yeah.
but god dang, they know how to speak the language, and con men are con men, you know, and that's kind of what they do. Sometimes.
No, I get it.
I have been conned.
Well, sure, and you're going to be.
And I don't get like resentful about it. I just go, oof, how'd that happen? I wanted it to fit more than I wanted to look at the facts, probably.
Sometimes I've gotten emotionally attached to, like,
that?
God, I need this person because they're awesome.
Yeah, is her name Stephanie?
No. I picked that one right.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. So
transitioning them out. Hopefully that's a good one for you. If you got questions about that, hit me up. I'm happy to talk about it. But that's probably good enough for a quick hit.
Yeah, I would say that is. That's a good one.
Good.
Transitioning out.
Well, thanks for asking.
I mean, it could apply to friendship too.
It could apply to friendship. It could apply to relationships. I want to help you find another person while we're still dating here.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Does that mean we still have benefits while this is all?
While this is going on.
That's really all I'm here for. We're really being honest about it. Sorry, don't. Hopefully, Austin will cut that out because that's not how I approach it, relationships anymore. All right. Well, hope you guys have a good day. Hopefully, you're inspired. Hopefully, you're getting value from these podcasts, and please help support our sponsors. They're the only reason we're able to continue to do this stuff.
And we have way better episodes than this at overlaplife.com. So just go check that out.
All right. See you later.
Peace.
Let me tell you about one of our sponsors, Chris Drogmiller. He's with CMD Fencing. One, I really appreciate his support to the podcast. He listens to the podcast, but long before that, he has done several projects for me at my home, at our business, and the dude just does an awesome job. One of the things I really like about him is it's basically just him and someone that helps him. His attention to detail is phenomenal. The work is always high quality. If you've ever had a fence built, you know that the gate itself and how it opens and shuts is kind of the stamp of quality. It always works well. I've made him make some interesting kind of fencing where it's all horizontal. He had no problems with that, did a great job. And the guy is freaking awesome. He's easy to work with and he does a fantastic job. He's a firefighter, so you know, he works 2 days on and 2 days off, so he comes in and knocks my project out on the days that he's off. And the dude's awesome. You can find him on our website, overlaplife.com. You can find him on Facebook, CMD Fencing. And let's see, his phone number is 901-484-5546. So if you need a fence, need some fence work, call Chris Drogmiller, CMD Fencing.
Hey guys, this is Keith. Let me break down a scenario for you. Are you a business owner that is overwhelmed by the options of investing, but you're being told you need to invest in retirement, you need to invest in mutual funds, you need to buy some single stocks? Well, I have your fix. C2 Wealth Strategies, ran by our friend Wes Cody. Their website is c2wealth.com. If you are looking at investing at all and are confused by it, give them a call today. They will be happy to handle whatever you need. He's brought up very specific things that I need to be working on as a business owner in my investing life. Let him do that same thing for you. c2wealth.com, or go to the overlaplife.com page and click on sponsors.
Hey there. My good friend Steve Bousquet and his partner, Christine Era, the owners of Green Profit Academy, are super excited about a new product they've got coming out. If you didn't know, they're the authors of Profit First for the Lawn Care Business. And it's a book written by Christine Era. Steve plays a big role in sort of adding to that. But they've got that book. It's already out. But if you're an audiobook listener and you just learn better by listening, they've got the audio version coming out, and I think this is really cool. They've got Christine Era narrating the audiobook, and she does a really good job. I've heard some clips of it. It's pretty fantastic. And Mike Michalowicz, the original author of Profit First, he reads the foreword. And so they've got a book launch that's going to come out on their website, Green Profit Academy, and you should stay tuned for more information about that. They're going to have some giveaways. They're going to have some other special deals going on. But the book itself, the audio book, will come out September 12th. So please be on the lookout for that. And if you need some help with Profit First for your green industry business, please give them a call or look them up, Green Profit Academy. Thanks so much. Okay, guys, everyone knows if you're a business owner, a business leader, or you're just a person in the world needing help with accounting, you need a real partner. You need someone that's going to listen to you and not just plug numbers in to make their job easy to do your taxes. At least that's what I want. I've been through a lot of accountants in my life, and I have yet to find one even remotely as good as Johnny Baranco. He's the owner of Baranco and Associates, and he's the kind of guy that really doesn't manipulate your books to make his job easier. He really is trying to give you insights into your business or into your financial planning world. Whatever your goals are, he's there to help. And so I just encourage you to give him a call. Baranco and Associates, look him up online. It's barancoandassociates.com, and just see if he can help you. He really is the accountant that I recommend to everyone, even before he was a sponsor of the podcast. So please, if you need an accountant, just do yourself a favor and give him a call.